In the video, we're going to be going over all the methods currently you should be doing on the Real Sports app. They just made a big FC change, so I want to go over that. And then basically future methods that you should be looking out for, because we'll have MLB general packs and player packs dropping very soon. So those are very good. Also, Masters, I'm going to make a little quick thing on golf. Masters is a boosted tournament, so all racks is boosted. This upcoming week, starting Thursday, April 9th, before I'm making this video. Or after I'm making this video. So you should be saving all your 15, 25x boosters if you hopefully have, using those no matter what on this tournament. There's only 4 tournaments a year where they are boosted. It's like the major 4 tournaments. Just look it up on Google if you want to know what the rest are. This is the first one of the year. So hopefully you've saved up. Maybe you have a Mystic Booster. I have a Mystic Booster. We'll be using that on Scotty Scheffler for sure. But make sure you have been doing this. Golf method, still killing it. It's amazing right now. And yeah, but let's go into MLB method. First off, MLB, the no run first inning method is actually decent for predictions. I went 2 for 3 yesterday on them. I screwed up. I thought the Mariners game was in the Mariners Stadium, so I told people to go Mariners, no run first inning. Zach Neto hit a home run off Emerson Hancock. That would not happen in the Mariners Stadium. That only happens in the Angels, so I screwed up on that. I swear, man, it showed they were the home team. But you can check some of these out. There's obviously a lot of games where no run first inning happens. And if you know the ballparks, for example, we have Giants, Mets. I'm sure a lot of people are on the know for this one. It's very hard to, hit in this stadium. You have a ground ball expert like Logan Webb pitching right now, so pretty good value. And then Kodai Senga, similar type player. Struggling lineups. I don't think Soto's playing today. So if you're someone who understands the game well, you can definitely make good racks off that. But with general packs coming out and player packs, I will tell you guys, maxing out general packs is going to be a must. We don't know exactly when these are going to come out. It could be another week or two. It could be this week or it could be next week. It's going to be one of those weeks unless they push it back even further. But they shouldn't. I'm assuming they'll be out maybe this week, probably next week. Player packs, obviously, there's only going to be so many players who are going to have player packs coming out early. They have to have so many, hits, home runs, strikeouts, all that for them to get a player pack. So relief pitchers are not going to get player packs for a while. And then starting pitchers will, but hopefully they've been playing good. So if you're someone who understands the player pack stuff, there will be certain players whose cards, when you get the player pack, will be very good. If they're someone who's on an extremely hot start to the season where they've been getting a lot of home runs, you're not going to be getting stuck with 10 rating for 200 racks. You're going to be getting, 18, 19, that 17 to 21 range, which is very nice. That does happen. But you're going to want to basically, for Shohei, Judge, guys like that, you're going to want to sell off the player cards, or the play cards, performance cards you get from the player packs. You'll be able to make, maybe $450 off a 200 pack, and then you'll be able to use the booster. So it's just free profit. It's something I recommend. Obviously, if you're someone who wants to grind a certain player and you already have swaps set up, you can do that. But I would highly recommend you don't do swaps at the beginning of the season unless you're very rich, and I would just sell for profit because that's what I want to do. Obviously, general packs are going to be money. 200 racks, you get a booster, you get 6 play cards. You can just sell off all the play cards. You'll probably make profit every time, just about, especially opening, day for packs. It's very much worth it, in my opinion. And again, make sure you are someone who's been doing the MLB method. You just buy a bunch of starting pitchers. You boost the pitchers. Obviously, the boosters are, what are they? Yeah, they're 10, 15, 25. I've used up almost all my boosters. But that's really what I would do, because if you go back, you look at a guy like, let's say yesterday, let's see who was the top guy. Bryce Elder, 21 racks. You put a 10x booster on him. That's 210 racks. 25x, you know what I'm getting at. And the Ks, they add up if you got the K boosters. But you should always use boosters 10x and up, in my opinion, on just straight up pitchers. Unless you have a favorite player or a really good hitter in a hitter-friendly ballpark against a bad pitcher, maybe do it then. Hopefully, you've been upgrading him. That's the only way I'd do it. Other than that, we got to go over to FC. FC has a new method. They just unleashed a bunch of new leagues. They have Serie A, League One, Bundesliga, La Liga, and then MLS. They also added FA Cup. So Premier League teams are much more valuable now than they used to be, because FA Cup is just an England Cup. So basically, only teams in England can play in it, and obviously the best teams in England are gonna succeed in it, except Arsenal, because Arsenal literally just lost to Southampton yesterday, who's not that good. That's a very low-level team, or not a very low-level team, but they've been playing actually pretty decent lately in the Championship, which is a lower league. Chelsea literally went nuts yesterday. They always play good in this. But teams like Chelsea, this has just added so much value to their cards, because look at a guy like Gustavo. He ain't doing this in the Premier League. 32 rack performance. That's very good for him. Pedro, 61 minutes, 16 racks. This is just adding more claims for on this day, because the season's going to be ending soon. The season's so long, and they keep playing. They get extra games now in the FA Cup. You were only going to get 7 more with Chelsea, but now they add all these FA Cup games that they played in. So they're going to get to play in at least one more. And they probably, I think they play, I don't think they play, the only other team that's really good for the most part in the FA Cup left is Man City, who just beat Liverpool. I think they're going to play, I think they play the winner. I think they play Southampton next, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think I think Leeds United plays Man City. So they're probably going to get 2 extra games, which is very good for you Chelsea holders. And it just makes everything a lot better for, those cards. And it just, honestly, you can find a lot of good level racks guys who have a lot of cards on the market now for those other leagues, and they've been getting ripped open. And just look at what racks can be made. Look at this guy, 37 racks. You got a 25x booster put on that boy, you make a ton of racks, man. And the packs have just been very good for FC. But I already talked to Lewis. Lewis did tell me that they are going to be adding individual league packs. So they're going to have one for Premier League, Bundesliga, MLS. But that's where the real method comes in. MLS season just started. They're only 5 games into the season. They have a whole playoff system as well. So it's completely different schedule type than, for example, just European leagues. So this is very good, honestly. And the playoff system for, I believe MLS is quite intriguing. It's 2 conferences. I think they play 2 legs each round, if I'm not mistaken, except maybe the championship game. So teams like Inter, Miami, Nashville, LAFC, man, this team just went nuclear yesterday. These guys have some of the best players in MLS on their team. They have, let me go through here. They have Son, who just had 4 assists in a game yesterday, literally, and that was in the first half. They also have where's this one guy at? Number 99. This guy is cracked out of his mind. Where's he at? Keep in mind the season just started, and I don't even see him on here. Oh, yeah, here's Dennis Bunga. This guy has a lot of goals. They don't even have all the stats updated yet on here, but I'll be honest. I definitely think a guy like him, very worth buying. You can go look up the top 25 FC players in MLS. You can go buy them. You can buy their team card if you want. Obviously, it's going to be pretty good, and I do think MLS is very worth investing in. Obviously, a lot of you guys already maxed out your player cards you have for Premier League. That's tough. Premier League definitely has the best value in cards overall, but MLS and Premier League are where it's at, because you get the FA Cup. Hopefully they add other cups for Spain, Germany in the future. But right now, the fact that they only have the FA Cup, that adds a lot of extra games for teams like Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, even Liverpool, Leeds United as well. But obviously, if you have teams like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, all getting extra games with FA Cup and Champions League, those teams, those players just become even more valuable because they have way more claims to, on this day in the future, and it makes a big difference. Also, there are a few guys who are transferring over from European competition to the MLS. I believe Orlando is one of them where they have a guy who's transferring over from Atletico Madrid. I don't think he's transferring over just yet. I think he's going to transfer once the season's over. But if you look at MLS, right, their season goes all the way till November, and then the playoffs start. So it goes pretty much past that. So guys transferring over with how they have it set up on Real, you could be looking at a guy potentially having 60 plus claims if they transfer over from a European team that's on the app over to a team in the MLS. For example, Casemiro is a guy who's rumored to transfer to Inter Miami. There's no way we know if that's going to happen yet, so it's very risky if you want to go all in on a guy like that. You're taking a high risk because you could go to Saudi Pro League, which can pay him a lot more money. Salah's a guy who they're talking about could transfer over to MLS. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to go to Saudi Pro League. He's from Egypt. He definitely has a lot of fans in Saudi Arabia. It makes more sense for him to go there. But there's been rumors that he could go to a team like San Diego, Inter Miami, etc. It's hard to know. You have to wait till the season's over for Premier League for guys like that to leave. And then they had the World Cup coming up. I don't know if World Cup's going to have racks involved. There's some talk of it, but we don't really know just yet. So you can't really take that into consideration just yet. Obviously, you can prepare for it, but it's going to be very expensive if you're going after guys like Messi. And also, FC packs right now, if you look at Messi, what he's been going for, well, I'm trying to get Ekatike to Iconic, so just ignore that. He's so expensive. If you look at Messi, for example, some of these guys are going for outrageous amounts right now. His cards are just insane. So if you pull a Messi card from a pack, you're making a ton of racks, man. I think if you just let's go look at for example, an 8, and then we look at listings closed. Selling for over 1,000 a card is pretty crazy, honestly. And I'm sure someone's going to be able to pass and sell it for a lot. But yeah, Messi, man, going for a ton of racks. There's I think if we look at Son, for example, I think he's probably going for a lot as well. There's a few other guys in the MLS that are just going for outrageous amounts of racks. Look at that. Oh, yeah, he got this yesterday. So, actually, I'm going to go max open FC packs after this because he has a Mystic performance. I wonder what these have been going for. I didn't know if this was going to turn out to be Mystic. 10,500. It's only been 2 right now that we know of have been pulled. So, hopefully, yeah, they're just trying to resell it. We only know of 1 being pulled. So, there's a chance, you could pull it. You'll get that Mystic booster, but Son is honestly, maybe I'll wait for MLS packs, see if those dropped later today, because they will be dropping those. Lewis said eventually. I hope they drop them today. Honestly, there should be boosted chance of pulling this only today. Hopefully the MLS packs drop today, but I don't know if they will. But I'm going to go max open packs for this, try to get lucky. Maybe I'll make a YouTube video on it. And then also, I'm going to talk about golf method. Golf method's still the money, guys. Golf method is so good. I just talked about Masters, but we can just go through here. We can look at my golf, guys. So what I do for golf is I have on this day golf that I really focus on. So we'll just go. I don't want to show you guys my daily because I have a few players I'm working on. I don't want people stealing who I'm working on. But if we go to 2025, we have Ben Griffin, Scotty Scheffler. I player pack these guys every single day. So over a course of a week, that's 7 times 4. That's 28. So I get 28 boosters a week just from opening these guys as packs. And then I open up after golf tournament's done of that week. I open up packs that following morning of when you get paid out, no matter what, because I believe someone did something crazy this tournament. I forgot what it was, but there should be like some Mystic performances or Mystic play cards or something that get pulled. You could have a chance of pulling. I've pulled 1 so far this season, and it's just a bigger booster for the like Masters and etc. that you can save for later on, and you can make a lot of racks off obviously that play card or performance card. So I always do that. So that's gonna put me at about about 53 total boosters that I've saved up, and then I usually will open up about 10 more that following day or whatever, whatever amount. So I'm out about 68 or 63, and then I'll wait till the following day, which is Wednesday. No, that's Tuesday. But I'll wait till Wednesday, and I'll open up as many packs as I need to go ahead and get whatever it tells me for what players I have playing that day. So I will do that. And also right now with you don't have to like look at who I'm built up, because when I built these guys up, they're relatively cheap. Now they've really made it so on Mondays and Tuesdays, for example, some of these guys' play cards that are very good, like top 20, top 25 level, world like golfers, are so cheap. Like their play cards are just cheap. You can get them for like 10 per, So it's very cheap if you want to upgrade them. You don't have to like necessarily sell off their play cards when you rip a bunch of gen packs. You could just keep them for certain guys. And if you get 2x, I think 2xing to 3xing every single player is kind of worth it right now. Because obviously, if you're getting, let's just say, let's look at Matt Wallace. A 3 times 28 is pretty good. Obviously, you're getting that 28. That's gonna be like a 13x booster instead, but you're getting that extra like 3 times on that rack. So pretty good value in my opinion. I definitely recommend it. And because if you think about it, like if you just put a 10x booster on a 1x, it comes out to a 10x. But if you get a 2x, it comes out to a 12x. So you do get that extra 2 payout level, additional, like what is it, 20, you get 40 extra racks than you would get because if you do, let's say, a 10 on just a straight up 1x guy, like, blank, that just pays 1x, it's 10x, so it's 200. But if you get the 2x on there, I believe it's 12x instead. When you put the 10x, obviously it just adds on to the boost. Something I recommend doing, because golf goes on for a long time. We can just go show you this. It basically is a year-round sport, so it's very worth doing. It goes all the way to December 11th, so very well, to do. And the thing is about golf, if you're just going to do like the one player pack a day for a golfer, you can find out who's the best. You can go, there's groups that tell you. You can go on my group, for example. I didn't shout out, but Copious Investments. We're always talking about who's the best. I have a few guys in here who know who are the best golfers for on this day. They've done the math. They have like their own gallery set up, so they know who to do. And yeah, I definitely recommend asking them in my group. All you gotta do to go to that is you just search. You go to like groups. You do the little gear icon. You go to explore, and you search in the search bar Copious. It's the first one that pops up. Join Copious Investments. Also, the picks and drafts is me. Karma, auctions, all me. They are very good, because in the picks and drafts we do predictions for all sports, mostly NHL, MLB, NBA, some college basketball, and then UFC. We make a lot of racks in UFC. I did UFC predictions the other day, and I went 6 for 6 technically, because I got all of my locks right in the dog. I got Moicano live bet right. All the locks were right, and then I told people to live bet Estevam if he wins on the ground, which meant if he's not winning on the ground, go Ethan Ewing. Shout out to Curry fans. They don't know how to read or interpret what I was saying, but that's just my opinion. I know a lot about UFC. I watch it all the time, even on the shit nights, and that was a shit night, like shitty fights we're on. No offense. But we got Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg this week. Paulo Costa versus Mazarkana, if I say his name. We got, Landwehr versus Cub Swanson. We got 2 mortal nukes this week, in my opinion. I think Curtis Blades and Cub Swanson are mortal locks. Last time I said that was for Daniel Zellhuber, and he lost me a lot of racks. He lost me about 40,000 racks. So hopefully I'm right this time. I feel like I will be, but Again, golf, MLS, and MLB are the methods right now. WNBA soon. Peace.